Okay, so Trinity, meet Trinity. 2015 chassis. Just went and did a little test and tune at the Ridge with Too Fast and the Super Pole. Little advanced group melee. And the engine needs to be come out. The engine is a dud. Unfortunately, I wanted to test the engine though. Took it to the dyno at Two Wheel Dyno Works and verified it was a dud. Then went to the track and double verified. And I'm just figuring out where I'm going to put all these parts as I take them off. But then there is Merlin's motor, which used to be Emrys, the one that had a broken valve spring and had repaired. And so yeah, I need to make some room on the counters to start stripping this bike apart and take the motor out and put the other one in. Well, update. It's what, a few hours later. I actually did a compression test of this motor, which is not pulling out very good numbers, and essentially on a cold engine, I saw 180 on 190, 190, 190. And wet, then you add some oil, like 2 milliliters of oil. I saw 200 on 20 strokes, 220 strokes, 215, 216. So essentially they all went. So all the compression is in check. Lots of other things too. This motor, I don't know. The emissions are different in different motors. So Trinity has this emission module, and I'm not sure how to remove it. Also, I noticed on the throttle bodies, it has this emission module, which my other bikes did not have as well. And normally these are just plugged right from the factory. So there's a couple differences. There's the radiator, oil cooler taken off as one piece. Yeah, so I mean, this takes up space here, so I'm actually just thinking of switching the throttle bodies completely. So here is the throttle bodies off of Merlin, and you can just see they're all just plugged, right? Right, little plugs, so more things to do. Okay, I'm just noting here on cylinder number 1, you can see on the valves that there's a little bit of the oil from when I did the compression. And then every other one is dry on the exhaust side. I don't know what that means, but you can see there's dry, and then cylinder number 1. I wonder if that's a reason the engine never made good power. Okay, real quick, just made another engine stand. And so essentially you kind of prop them up at the right angle to fit the motor shape, right? And then obviously the oil pan fits right between one of these, right? So that's how it works. It's easy. Okay, what is it now? I did the Monday track day, test out Trinity's chassis, try to get it set up with that Nitron shock and different fork internals, etc. And now the motor of Trinity's, which is kind of a dud, 15, 16 horsepower down throughout the entire power band. I don't know why, but I got the stand built last night, and then I went and bought another dolly, because I got another engine over there and another one in the back on a dolly. You can see them. My shop is just so packed with parts everywhere, it's getting ridiculous. There's just no room. Anyways, and then I just bolted in like a little areas here to kind of brace it, and so it holds it nice and level and steady, and then I'll be able to drop the engine next here. So, gotta get all this done today. Tomorrow, button up everything. This is that DDC thing I realized later, and hopefully I can just unplug it with the RCK3 and changing a few things over from the other bikes. And I got to remember which one to cut on this. You can cut the wires and just get rid of this kickstand sensor. And the power commander, I might just change the whole power commander out. This one already has the maps in it I want for the Emrys Merlin motor. I just got to repin this one that got ripped out from the map switch sensor. And there you go. There's the RCK3 I'm going to be using. No, this is the one that just came out of the bike. And all right, let's keep going, guys. Get this motor out of here. There it is, dropping. Super easy. Just hit the foot pedal, right? And starts to come out nice and slow. And you can always double check because you never know if you missed the cable, which didn't miss the cable this time. Here you see that's that DDC module piece that has been all taped up, and then the DDC back here. So that's new, of course, for me. I've never had a DDC X bike. And okay, so now, and the motor's on wheels, so I can just move it in and out, but I'll drop it down, wheel it off the stand, and yeah, wheel in the next motor. And there's the lone hanging chassis, and then there is Merlin's motor slash Emrys. That's how I do it. I like to just hang it. I mean, that's the advantage of the steel bin, is I got hooks everywhere. Otherwise, you're gonna need to put some in your beams and your roof. But it just makes using the whole stand really easy. I can't pick up a motor. I've wrecked my back, as many of you seen in my series, Irnieracing for Health. And here's this other motor, and I mean, as we start to go, wheels and parts, and there's that destroyed wheel. Look at that, right? And then yeah, destroyed suit, set of headers. There's the exhaust that had stuff in here. There's the other motor that was out of Merlin originally. You know, bodywork, tail, subframe, destroyed exhaust, destroyed stuff, just destroyed front wheel. I'm just running out of room to put everything. I got to do a serious reorganization. More muffs destroyed, spare parts galore, all these bins, you know, just front fenders everywhere, seats everywhere, bodywork everywhere. Just more stuff and more. I'm just losing control of my shop. Losing control. Well, I decided to cut off. This was the plug for the DDC. This was the plug for the servo. And you can see it tighten them up. And then here's the one going to the regulator, stator regulator. So, and then those are the wires cut off. So, oh, yeah, okay. Saving some weight. And just unplugged this. Look at all this. Is the DDC's control module here, which is in the tail of a DDC bike. I think I'll just put some tape over this for now. I should be able to just cut this right off. Like, you know, it's not needed. I have the race ECU to disable it. So if anybody has experience with the DDC bikes, and just when you have the RCK3, you know, just remove it, cut it, let me know. And just like that, got all the bolts in on this side, and now I just gotta go and look up the torque specs. You think I'd have these memorized by now, but yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. You torque this side, whatever it was, like 70 Newton meters. Then you torque the other side with the spacers, something similar. But the manual actually says you tighten to this torque, and then you do a whole 180 turn. But we'll just look them up. Okay, another little update. Yeah, I got all the power commander, everything plugged in, all the plugs. I had one plug, I couldn't figure out what it was until eventually I'm like, oh my god, I'm such an idiot. It's the cam sensor. Got the air box on. Everything's good to go. I don't need this thing hung up anymore. I could put the stands back on. And but yeah, I just got to get the top injectors plugged in, then get the coolant, get the radiator hoses, everything else going. So I just had a good laugh on getting way ahead of myself. I just put the battery on, positive, negative, power commanders in there. You know, all the injectors, I plugged the ECU in, and I'm like, oh, just to make sure it, you know, it runs with this ECU before I swap them for the ECU for this motor, you know, with the tune and the power commander. And then I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like thinking, okay, everything is buttoned up, good to go. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have any oil cooler. Wait a minute, I don't have anything. There's no radiator, no oil cooler. I can't believe I just thought I could start it up. So it's been a long morning, Ugh. Now I got a lot more work. Of course, you're gonna have the check engine light. And let's get on. Just making sure she's working as I cleaned out. Here they go, all 4 cylinders. Well, it seems to be moving. At least the engine's moving. Okay, so I just removed old header. There's like a little dent in the bottom there. And this one has a little dent in the top. So I just threw on some new headers and springs, and then I safety wired them while it's off the bike to make it easier. Okay, new headers are on. So everything is safety wired. All the headers are safety wired. And oh fuck! Huh. Now I gotta get the radiator oil cooler on. This is really annoying because it's so hard to reach this through the headers and get into there. Right in there, everything's in the way. Otherwise you gotta disassemble the whole thing, which is a pain in the ass also. Okay, on to the Amsoil Coolant Boost mixed with distilled water, improves heat transfer for increased horsepower and reliability, compatible with all water sources and radiators. And it's 2 ounces per quart. So here's 8 ounces, 4 liters, 4 quarts respectively. And I got all the hoses on. You can see down here, and then I just got to shoe glue them after, a safety wire and whatever is available. And just adding the coolant. Okay, I reached the stage now where I've almost finished the coolant, and now I'm adding Amsoil's 1040 motorcycle oil. If you don't know, I'm an Amsoil dealer, and of course the Amsoil family company, no shareholders, only wants to make the best product, and does. So yeah, I've been I got this on loose now, just on the loose setting, and once we get this done up, we can put the gas tank on and clean out the motor, because it's got a lot of that engine, the power foam in there, this stuff, so it's going to blow a lot of smoke from when I cleaned the intake out and trying to vacuum all the rocks out. So let's do it. Okay. Let's see what happens. You can hear the fuel pump gauge. I'm just going to click it a couple times, just like that. Try to circulate the oil. It's not going to start right away because of all that power foam. Remember, the power foam has got to clear out. I'm just circulating it. Alright, I think we're ready. Now I'm going to head it on. Here we go, here we go. Let's see if, oh, I need a throttle here. Might need to open some throttle to get it started. Check the oil now. Woo, smoky. Well, at least it started. Yeah. And no system light, no system out light. Oh. Anyways, that's a very good first sign it starts. Okay, so I topped it up. Oh, put the red cap on, topped up everything. Just put this on halfway so it can still bleed. And let's start it. Okay, now this is a neat experiment. Here we go. RCK3 from Merlin. And the RCK3 key just chilling above here, and the dash from the crash. And so it should, everything's hooked up. Dash still works. Everything looks normal. And whew, I mean, that the bike should start. The bike should start. Okay. Yeah. Very cool, very cool. And it actually, the tune is so good in here from Two Wheel Dyno Works. Do you see how easy it is to hold an idle? The other one was super tough to hold an idle. Wanted to show some people a tip if you're trying to get your sprocket off. I just did using my big Milwaukee Impact, right? But I don't have the chain on it. Because of the 16 front sprocket, I can't get the chain around it unless I break the chain. So taking a piece of wood, you can see the teeth marks that the sprocket made into it, and I just jammed it up there, and it's gonna spin left, and it just dug in. So, because you know, a lot of these people sell, like businesses will sell, like Alpha or whoever, fits in, you know, a special little aluminum one, but like that's free. Okay, well, took off this XXX rotor from this wheel that was on the crash bike. The rear wheel was completely squished. Front rim seems okay after we took the rocks out of it, so I'm just changing the rotors from the last wheel that got wrecked. So I had a spare rotors. But the funny thing is then after you take it off, and I'm like, is it actually bent? But I remember as we were spinning it on the wheel balancer, it looked like it was curved. Either way, now I'm almost thinking I should change this both sides just because. And certainly don't use it for the race. Make sure to test it first. Okay, motor is warm. I'm running Amsoil's PI. I'm trying to clean out all the carbon buildup and the race fuel that was kind of stuck in there for 2 weeks or whatever. Sounds pretty good. Pretty good. Well, what is it? 8:30, guys. I'm still in the shop. Got the power on, connecting to the power commander, switching the maps, of course. So I pulled out the old laptop, and so I inputted. I got a map switch. Got map 1. And you can see as an example here at 10,000 RPM on pump fuel. So let's go to like our 11. We got 12, 14, 15, 15, 15, and some minuses. This is based on top of an RCK3 map, so this will not be relevant to anybody. And then this is, look at the numbers now, maxed at 30, 30 on the lower injectors, because the power commander just does lower injectors. And this is the U4 fuel, so that's how much more fuel at 100% in that range. And then right at like 14,000, it's 6, and 15, just a little bit more. Oh, so yeah, I'm making good stride. Obviously got to put a front wheel on, but that's, and got the chain adjusted. I want to actually change the subframe. I'd like to get rid of that subframe. We're gonna have a good weekend. I'm gonna put on a race subframe, but I'm getting freaking tired as well. I have to pack the trailer. And yeah, 15 minutes later, no tail. That's what the bike looks like. It's kind of like looks like when it's crashed. You can hear the crickets. Okay, well, it's like 10:30. Been working all day from 10 to 10. 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. It's time to give it a rest. Okay, well, now it is 11. 11. I've been going, I think I actually got here at like 9 or 9:30, so I've been going like 13 and a half, 14 hours straight. Literally just quick breaks to snack on protein shakes. But Trinity, the new bike Trinity, guys. Welcome to Trinity. And oh boy, I gotta go to sleep. Trinity is coming together nicely. It'll be very untested when we arrive for Friday night, and then Saturday morning, 2 practice sessions, then qualifying. That's it. In the morning, cold morning at Pacific Raceway, it's going to be quite an interesting Saturday to settle in with the new bike. Wish me luck. Okay, it's day 3, Thursday. Got to leave tomorrow morning. Got to get this all packed up. So I just removed the dampener on Morpheus, the named Morpheus, because this one just had a little bit of looseness. I don't like that initial looseness. Here, this one's also needs to be rebuilt from Merlin. And then here is another one. I don't know what it's like, so I'm going to put it on and give it a feel. Alright, I just snipped off the kickstand wire, right? And I had to test which one allows you to start it in gear, right? You can't, as soon as you put it in gear, when the kickstand's down. So it is the blue, green, and brown green connected makes it work. Okay, as according to the rules, I actually have to double safety wire this because they don't count these locking pins, which work excellent, and there's no common sense in it. But what are you going to do? So here's locking pin, safety wired the backside. I had to switch dampers again. I got the bike on the loose stand so I could turn the bars, and the one I just put on was like terrible as well. It's super worn out. So anyways, safety wire the outside, and I safety wire the bottom bolt, and coming around, of course, safety wired all of my springs and connections on the exhaust, and the drain on the water pump, muffler bottom bracket, muffler top bracket, even the bottom bolt for the shifter. You gotta have a lot of bolts available, spares and new ones, etc. Wow, almost ready to leave tomorrow. I got everything buttoned up. Oh wow, there it is, number 4. Old school way.
Alright, we just pulled off the highway. Where are we heading?
Pacific Raceway.
In a quarter mile, slight right to stay on Southeast 304th Street.
See, it's in the camera. It's talking to you.
Talking to me.
Well, it's a long drive. It's been a long 3 days getting the bike ready. It's been long everything. And here we are for a weekend of racing with Trinity, the new rebuilt mix mash bike, BMW.
How many hours did it take us to get here?
We left at 10:20. We left 20 minutes late, 10:20.
Slight right.
And it's 7:42.
Oh, look, here we are.
Turn right onto 144th Avenue Southeast.
All right, cut her out.
Bring the thrills. Alright. Look at all these hats on the dash.
You never know which
You
one
never
you
know
want
when
to
you need a
wear.
hat.
Wow, you gotta decide which one you want to wear.
Gray or gray.
Don't want to wear EBC, don't want to wear Irnieracing, don't want to wear Yamaha or EBC or this Fiat one I found at the Overland Expo.
Yeah.
Brand new.
Oh. So do you feel excited? Do you start to get a little
Tired.
tired?
Oh, look, they got a dragster. Look at this dude.
Oh wow.
Alpha, that's the best thing ever.
Alright, we're looking for Aaron.
Because he works on today or tomorrow. I gotta get the bike out, wheels out, lights on.
What else do we have to do?
I guess I'll get the bike out and figure out like wheels and tires and tech and all that crap tomorrow morning. For now, stands. Let's see here.
We've got trouble.
Action.
Always trouble.
Went out in first practice, trash. As soon as I rolled the bike out of the pit, no rear traction, no traction control. It just won't turn on. I don't know why.
He's got like 13 minutes before he has to be back on track.